Simple video here. What is the difference between the new standard series that Fender released in January of 2025 and the Player 2 series which came out in 2024 and is the next model?
I can't even tell.
Yeah, here you go. Right. So, the standard range is a simple line for simple people. It has a Telecaster in some different colours, it has a Stratocaster in some different colours, and it has a Stratocaster with a humbucker in some different colours.
Yes.
That's it. Player
and some
2...
basses as well.
Yes, basses, absolutely. Player 2 has a bigger range of guitars in it.
Plethora.
More colours, more fretboard options, more pickup options, offsets, all that kind of
Chambered.
stuff. Exactly. We're just going to focus on the like-for-likes, and Pete's going to do all the playing, so that obviously you hear everything through the same amp and same pedal board.
But before we go ahead, please like and subscribe, because we are at 950,000. And thank you all, everybody, for watching the NAMM stuff. That was good fun. Still a little bit jet lagged.
It's crazy, isn't it? We've been back a week and everyone's still like, oh, what day is it?
I feel like my eyes are shotting all the time, but that's because I'm bored.
Maybe. Anyway, right. Mr. Pete, let me give you this guitar. Do you have a stand next to you, or do you like one? You want that stand? Let me give you this stand.
Can I, just before we go ahead, just see, does this look like, how many pieces of this does this look like?
3, 4, maybe. I mean, I think you'd expect that. We haven't even written that down as a spec,
no,
have
that's 4, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it probably is.
I think it looks like 4 pieces.
Okay, so I'm going to do this once because most of these spec differences are the same regardless of which style of guitar you go for. So if you go standard series, you're going to get a guitar made of poplar. It's a really, really commonly used but more affordable hardwood.
Yeah.
On the Player series, most of the range is older.
Yeah.
There are a couple of guitars in their Telecaster range, depending on the finish you go for, that are chambered ash or chambered mahogany.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a slightly different grain, and it does reduce the weight quite a bit.
It does.
The neck profile on both guitars are both classed as modern C, and the radius is 9.5 inch. So they should feel pretty similar.
Yeah.
However, there is a minuscule 0.03 of an inch difference between the nut width. So the nut width on the standard is very marginally wider than the nut width on the Player. It's all it takes.
0 point.
You have got 21 medium jumbo frets on the standard, 22 medium jumbo frets on the Player.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, who gets past the 15th fret on a Telecaster?
I noticed as well that it's got this little overhang on the neck where this one doesn't, and it seems to me like that's the difference in the two. I just noticed a skunk stripe as well, look.
Indeed, yeah, good shout. Is that because presumably then the truss rod on the Player is put in through the back of the neck, and the fretboard is part of the same piece of wood? It looks like it's put down onto top. Whereas on the standard, the fretboard is glued in on top of the neck.
Slight net tint as well on here.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a tint on the Player series, gives it that slightly aged look. Yeah. Fretboards, again, this is a fairly big difference. Fretboards, and we probably need a different guitar here actually. Fretboards are rosewood or maple on the Player series, or laurel or maple on the standard series.
Yes.
Maybe you don't even know what any of this means. I mean, we'll have to go through these when we're playing them. Different material for the nut, micarta nut on the standard. I've never heard of that before. I'm
Mikasa
guessing it's some
Suka,
sort of
Mikasa.
plastic. And then synthetic bone on the player. Saddles, the trem systems are slightly different. So again, actually on the Telecaster, the only difference is literally that you've got shiny saddles on this, satin finish saddles on that. Other than that, they're much the same. On the Stratocaster, we'll show you a close-up when we get round to these. They are bent steel saddles on the player and block steel saddles on the standard. Tuners are different. So you've got these vintage style tuners on the... Oh yeah, you can show them on that. Vintage style tuners on the player, modern style tuners on the standard. And then finally, I think, if I just quickly... Yes, finally, the pickups on the standard series are ceramic pickups, ceramic magnets in the pickups. And on the player series, they are Alnico magnets, Alnico 5s on the single coils and Alnico 2 on the humbucker.
Is he racing for Mercedes still, or Alnico Rosberg?
Alnico Rosberg. Oh, good one. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Pete, all that spec means nothing. All that matters is how do they feel and sound.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that. I felt there is slight a millimeter more on this one. So this is the...
I've just spotted another, or have I? Is it a lacquered... Yeah, it's a lacquered fingerboard on player on the maple fretboard.
It is.
And a satin fingerboard on the standard
it's all about
series.
saving little things here and there, and then it amounts to a big thing,
ultimately,
doesn't it?
all that matters is the Player 2 series worth the 200 odd quid more?
So it's 200 quid.
2 to 250, something like that more. But let's see.
Let's see, start with the...
Yeah.
You know what I would do, of course, I would put
brass saddles
on it immediately, but...
You'd have to change the whole bridge for that though, wouldn't you? Because you've got 6...
Yeah, I think you can get... Yeah, but that's easy, it's just the same screws, isn't it? Let's just... I'll put this down really quick. That's a big difference.
A bit zingier and a bit louder player too, isn't it? Now that's a chambered body, isn't it? And I wonder if just acoustically, whether that makes the guitar a bit louder. Yeah, here we go.
Acoustic Matata. It's brilliant. I've got all the puns today. Same configuration with the pickups and the... See, I like that.
Sans pedals?
Yeah, no pedals. Actually, I'm running the Cali 76, but I'll put that on all the time.
I think they've got the butterscotch on the player better. I think on the standard, the butterscotch is more yellowy orange.
Yeah.
Whereas this feels more, or not feels, but looks more. Anyway.
Louder, but narrower in sound.
They do say that with ceramic pickups are hotter, aren't they?
They're hotter,
generally.
But it's like this.
Right. I see what you're saying. So almost like a...
It's almost like this. Almost like there's a blanket over it.
Oh, I see.
It's almost like not a blanket,
articulate.
but it's like, you know, when your grandmother knits. She does this to knit a blanket with the little holes in it. So there's still holes in the blanket. The blankets. We make the blankets.
Come on, this is a tariff-free video. We're just not going there at all. We're going to do it. We're going to go half an hour without talking about it.
See, I want to do the treble thing.
I should say, of course, speaking of
tariffs,
and no, we talked about a price difference, didn't we? In the UK, that should be the price difference.
Yeah.
Of course.
But who knows what's going to happen?
These are made in Mexico, and these are made... Sorry, these are made in Mexico, and these are made in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So who knows what the price difference will be at some point this year. Go to your local Fender dealer and find out.
Yeah, okay, so back to this one. Here, it's much more articulate, much more open, much more harmonics and all that stuff.
Yeah, if anything, I would say more tele.
So back to this one. I'm immediately reaching for the tone control. It's, as you say, this is much more Telecaster-y.
Could you? I mean, so that's what I'm hearing. Right, more volume from the standard series. Less treble.
It's less bass and less treble.
Oh, okay.
It's like a mid. It's like a. I don't know if I'm right to say. Do you think? Would you agree that it's like a mid? It's like a low mid. It's not the nice bass end that it's got. I'm not saying it's bad because you can EQ it out probably.
Yeah, but maybe it's better with overdrive as well. We'll find out in a minute.
Hit that bright switch down. It's still lacking.
I think it's just the high frequency that gives the articulation just isn't there. So it doesn't matter how much you turn the treble up if it's just not there in the first place.
And the low end, man. And
I think we're being hyper-critical of two highly affordable guitars. But you want to know the difference, right?
But that's what most people are. You know, that's when you say $2,000 on one or 600 quid. The low end is nice and the top end is nice.
Sounds
without being. It's much more balanced to me. So how it feels. This has got rolled boards. This is not as rolled. It's slightly more. I wonder whether that's why it's like a millimeter more. Slightly rolled, but this is more rolled. So we try some gain quickly.
Yes, please.
Just a day. I mean, I think that sounds great.
It's a great sound.
Yeah. There's a lot. This poor stand.
It's all right. It's used to it.
Your man. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is more noisy. It's
more muffled, isn't it?
It's more muffled, which is, you know, you could, let's try and put some...
I mean...
I can tell you that it plays really nice. There's nothing wrong with how it plays. And...
Well, that's an interesting observation there, Mr. Pete, as well, because, of course, if you just took the price difference between the two, you could go and buy yourself a set of custom shop pickups to go in your standard Telecaster, and I'm absolutely convinced the only thing that's giving it that slightly more muffled tone will be the electronics. There won't be anything
it'll be
to do
wireless electronic. But you feel the pot on this one, for instance. Just feel the pot, and then feel the pot on that one. See, that's much more sort of loose, and this is a bit more sort of firm in it. Yeah. So of course, but you have to. If, as I said, little bits from everywhere to take the price down to 300 quid. I would personally do a paper round, or go to mummy and daddy or grandparents.
Before we leave this section.
So here we are with the player. I remember doing the video on this. You can watch it up there if you want. And now they can like and subscribe. I was really impressed with these. I thought they were really
the Rosewood
upgrades.
For me, the Rosewood fretboard is a big thing. If I was buying a maple neck Strat or Telecaster for that matter, then I think the difference between Player 2 and Standard is maybe less of an issue for me.
Yeah.
Rosewood, I want Rosewood over Laurel. Sorry, Laurel and Hardy, you're a great double act, but Rosewood beats you every day.
And I would go older over
Poplar
if I can. You know, and you can with an extra bit of money on it.
Yeah.
Because it's that's just my opinion. And of course, opinions are like you know what I'm saying. Again, you got the skunk stripe on the back. I love the way that the dark Rosewood is on here. Yeah. Tuners are different again.
Yeah. Can we do a close up on the saddles on the Trem system, because that is that's different compared to the Telecaster. So you've got the block saddles, the sort of those brushed stainless saddles on the standard series, and you've got the more vintage correct bent steel saddles on the Player 2. Albeit, interestingly, neither guitar has a traditional 6-screw style Trem system. Six. They're both the sort of the 2 point.
But it's little details, like you got the F in here, and how the plastic is sort of color coordinated to old like age a bit, you know.
That's really interesting. So they haven't used an F stamped neck plate on standard series. No. Oh, that would have cost you nothing, Fender, to do that.
But it's cheaper to make those two. They're probably like 10p less or whatever, maybe 5p, maybe 2p.
Anyway,
maybe the. Okay, well, let's try this. So I'm gonna neck pick up. Sounds like a Strat. It's just a lovely. Again, it's the same sound as the other. It's the Alnico.
Fender need that bell-like bottom end and clarity on the top end.
Clarity. They need that clarity on the top. Just
come on, standard series. Prove me wrong.
Exactly the same. It's louder. It's sort of. It's got that, not the low end, but like that sort of whatever that is. And it's lacking that sparkly top end. Trem system is nice. Sounds great, though.
I can see you're really missing that 22nd fret, though. I mean, that's a game. That's a deal breaker for you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm missing it so much. 21.
Funny, isn't it? How I mean, some players they'll really complain if Fender go back to using a 21 fret design, and I think you're in that niche of probably like 1 or 2% of players that ever get up.
And you can just do that.
But I guess it's fair enough. If that's where you play, then you need the extra one.
Here's these 2 pickups. That's what it's got. Take the reverb off. It's got that. Got exactly. That's what it. It's got that. That bell, the Stratocaster bell. It's so much louder. Sounds good, man. Plays nicely. It's just more balanced. I just feel like it's more balanced.
Can I just do bridge pickup on that versus this? Because I've always, on a really traditional Strat, I always find the bridge pickup is a bit weak and a bit bright. Maybe it might be better with a ceramic bridge.
Let's try it. Modern wiring on this. It's more powerful, more pokey.
I might even prefer the bridge pickup on the Strat.
Yeah. Dane. I mean, I like that. I think that's a nice sound on that pickup. So if you want to rock out a little bit with the cork out, as they say at vineyard festivals, rock out with your cork out.
Oh, with your cork out?
Yeah. actually, I don't mind that either.
No, with the distortion on it, I don't mind.
I mean, it's classic.
Anyway, look, let's quickly, as Pete changes up, I just want to hear the humbucker on these last two, and we'll run the colours on screen now again of the standard Strat versus the Player 2 Strat. Sort of aged guard on the Player 2.
Little
bit classy, isn't it?
Little bits and pieces, man.
I did like this colour though on the standard series.
Yeah,
this, metallic.
Cola. Something.
Coca-Cola.
Is it called?
At the Copa.
Coca-Cola.
So the only difference between these two guitars and the two previous ones is the humbucker at the back. So that's all we're going to show you on these.
Humbucker.
Alnico 2 on the Player, ceramic on the standard. That's a good sound.
It's a great sound. I can hear it's ringing.
It's really weird. It's
lacking the ring, isn't it? It's lacking that. Isn't that weird? It's the same thing. Just lacking that.
Powerful.
Yeah, but it's lacking that finesse. Got a more nasally kind of hit right in the between the.
Well, there you are. Conclusions.
Conclusions. This is a great guitar for the money. If you want a little bit extra, save up and get that one. I would.
If you split it into let's say three things: playability, sound, looks. I think Player 2 wins on sound and looks.
Yeah.
Is there a big difference in playability between the two?
Not a huge difference. I think maybe the rounded. Maybe I mean I don't press hard enough to be able to feel the rosewood or the, So
that's a visual thing, isn't it?
Maybe? Yeah, it's a visual thing.
Hey,
I don't know.
Look, this video was not designed to make you feel like you were getting, it'd be a bad idea to buy a standard and you have to upgrade to Player 2. I think they're both fine guitars. This was really just to show you the difference. So if you can't make it to a shop to make your own mind up, you just want to base your decision off of what Pete and I think, there you go. Hopefully we've helped you,
can't go wrong
make
with
that
either.
decision. Both great guitars, but I think for me, I'm just going to edge going, I probably would try and save up the extra couple of hundred quid.
I would.
But hey,
I would.
You probably expected us to say that.
Anyway, exactly.
Thank you for watching. By the way, we are now about to shoot out the standard series against the range below it, which is the Squier Classic Vibe.
That's going to be interesting.
Please like and subscribe, because that video is probably not out just yet. But if you subscribe and hit that notification bell, you'll find out when it is live. Thank you. See you next time.